Joining us now is a man that might be changing how we call things forever as well. He's a rookie in the NFL. He's already leading the NFL in a lot of different categories. He's been a player of the month already. There's talking about him being the favorite for the offensive rookie of the year. And coming out of Ohio State, there wasn't a lot of fanfare about him because this guy doesn't care, just likes the ball. And they love him in Tampa Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, the explosive Emeka Egbuka. Yeah! How are you, dude?
What up? How you guys doing? I'm doing good.
Hey, we're great. Thank you so much for joining us. Are you an Adidas athlete?
I am. I'm an Adidas athlete.
Bro, they're giving money to everybody. They're trying to get into football. It feels like Adidas is trying to get into football for real. And we appreciate that Adidas is getting in, Nike's in. And I think Adidas is saying, we picked the right guy here in you. Let's chit-chat about how this has gone thus far from our perspective, okay? A.J. Hawk, obviously Ohio State legend, much like yourself. He has a tree on campus. You certainly will have a tree on campus at some point. And you might be the president of Ohio like A.J. Hawk was a couple years ago. But at Ohio State, you're always like the number 2 wide receiver or number 3 wide receiver that was in topic of conversation. Always did your job, never bitched at all. I think AJ actually said Emeka Egbuka, whenever he gets into the NFL, is going to be a guy. It has certainly been that. Do you think your journey through Ohio State, how it went, has prepared you for this type of situation being in the NFL? And have you always been like the most mature guy of all time, basically, to handle all of these things?
To the first part of your question, yeah, I think Ohio State has made me ready for my NFL career in a lot of ways. I think something that the wide receiver room at Ohio State prides ourselves on is, having 3 wide receiver ones at any given time. So we have all the ability to be able to dominate any given game. And we're all super confident in that ability. And just being in that room for so many years and competing with those guys day by day just made me into such a better football player. That was part of the reason that I went to Ohio State, was because, I was a 5-star top 10 recruit, number 1 wide receiver in my class, all that type of stuff. And, could have gone anywhere. Bama, Clemson was hot at the time when I was coming out, but I wanted to go to Ohio State because I knew that that receiver room was special. And I needed to be, I wanted to grow my ability and not just see the field right away. I knew I needed to actually push myself because I have, big goals for my future in the NFL.
See, that's a super mature way of looking as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old. So that goes back to the end of my thing. Yes, you've always been mature throughout it all. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, in that receiver room, we always hear about Brian Hartline. So I actually played with Hartline. I knew firsthand that guy is an absolute stud on the field, and as a recruiter and a coach he is. But what separates him and Ryan Day, you think, as coaches that kind of continues? We know everybody has talent, but you guys just continue, 3, 4, 5 deep. It doesn't matter who they could throw to at Ohio State. You guys are going to get it done. Like, what separates them, do you think, as coaches?
I think a lot of the success that you see from the Ohio State receivers is a reflection of Coach Hartline's mentality. And it's not that he made us that way, but he recruits like-minded individuals, people who are perfectionists and, want the most out of their career that they can get. And in some senses, Coach Hart kind of expects more out of you than you expect of yourself sometimes. So he believes in all of us and all of our ability to be able to succeed and do everything that we want to do. And he puts so much into coaching us and making us know what we need to know to go out there and execute.
That was at Ohio State, and then now at Tampa Bay. I think Baker said you said something during the spring that blew his mind. He's like, wait a minute, this might be a guy. You've been one of his go-tos, and there's some stats that Hembo sent us over, and you have 2 50-yard catches, only wide receiver with more than 1 thus far in the season, 7 25-yard catches. That's most in the NFL. At 5 touchdown catches, average 33 yards. I mean, you are explosive in every facet, and you make insane catches look very easy, and you're always open. It's not supposed to be like this for rookies in the NFL. It's supposed to be the grown man's league. You're supposed to struggle a little bit. Instead, we're seeing the best football from you and also the best football from Baker, but they're not the only ones. AQ has a question for you as a former Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Yeah, I played with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans down there. How has having them in the room, veteran leaders, as well as Baker, helped you transition in your rookie season?
It's been super instrumental in my success. Obviously, the reason part of the reason I was the first round pick is because of my natural talent and my ability that God gave me. But just the confidence that they put into me, just really on the mental side of things, just making sure I know my job. They always have an open ear for me to ask any question. I'm a big question asker. So, I probably annoy them with how much I ask, but they're always ready to answer and give me the real. And they just pump so much confidence into me. Like Mike is a dude who's constantly in my ear telling me, you were built for this, you can do this, you were made for this. Like you're that guy. And like just having someone like that, a Hall of Famer who believes in you to that type of level, just makes you go out on the field and really, ball out and do what you were made to do.
You're certainly doing that, and believing in yourself and believing in your team is potentially why you guys have 4 fourth-quarter comebacks this season to start the year. The culture there is seemingly great, especially with what you just said about Mike Evans relaying to you, a man who could potentially take the mantle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver for the next 15 years like Mike Evans has been able to do. No pettiness, no jealousy. Instead, it's complete opposite, gassing you up. I love that. And your quarterback has been doing the same thing except for in one particular time. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Mecca, a couple weeks ago, Bake, and Pat mentioned it, you've had, like 1 to 2 highlight reel catches almost every single week. But a couple weeks ago, you had a sick one-handed catch. And I think we got some audio of Baker basically telling you, like, hey, Rook, use 2 hands, okay? You're making my ball look less pretty by making a one-handed catch. At this point now, a couple weeks removed from that, have you gotten – you have carte blanche now where it's basically like if Bake's going to throw it to you, it's like, hey, Bake, shut up. I'm going to snag this thing, and there's a good chance I'm going to score. How has that gone?
Nah, I mean, our relationship is great. If you guys get a chance to talk to him, you can ask him. But like ever since that, sometimes I'll just one hand something in practice just to look at him and laugh. But no, we have a great relationship. It's all, we're joking around, we're having fun, and that's really what it's about at the end of the day. Like we're having fun playing football, and in the high stress situation, in the lives that we live, sometimes you can lose that a little bit. Obviously, winning is the most fun thing, but just to be able to ball with your boys like you used to is something that we really enjoy. So.
Did you enjoy Baker in that Seattle Seahawks fan? We loved it. We loved the little sauce that he still has.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was balling. I'm from Seattle, so it's been a lifelong dream of mine to play in that stadium, and to have a guy like that go out there with some fire and talk to the historic fan who's always there at the opposing tunnel. It just got the whole team going, and obviously his performance speaks for itself. And, he's just a baller.
Don't wake him up, I think is the thing. And I talked about this yesterday. It's like teams might need to send out like emails to season ticket holders and people that are going to be there like, hey, we just don't talk to the quarterback.
Don't echo Bake.
Yeah. Actually, bring signs pro Baker.
Yeah.
Baker, welcome to town. Great to have you. BYU was doing that at WVU. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
They're making them ice cream and singing their songs.
Wow.
We went out there. Then they beat us by 50. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Good ball club.
Very hospitable, as is Ohio State. We don't have to get into it. We got a number 1 wide receiver in the country saying, I want to go to that place because there's other number 1 wide receivers. I'll tell you what, West Virginia would die to have that. We'd really enjoy to have that type of situation happening in our particular locker room. Now, let's talk about you and football, your football life. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Mac, you talked about your upbringing in Seattle. I think I heard on the broadcast about your spectacular baseball career growing up. You won pitch, hit, and run, started getting college offers pretty early, and then after COVID, I believe, a couple seasons were canceled, you committed, I guess, fully to football. How was that decision made? Obviously, it worked out. You said you were a 5-star number 1 wide receiver in the country coming out as well, but how did that, final decision, how did that work out to be just straight football?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was less of a decision and more of just like baseball just finding its way out of my life. I love the game of baseball. Still miss it from time to time, but I played my freshman and my sophomore year in high school. Then COVID hit. My junior year was entirely canceled. I played for a select baseball team in the summer. All my summer tournaments were canceled, and then senior year rolls around, and I early committed to Ohio State. I could have played baseball at Ohio State. I had, the opportunity. I talked to the baseball coach and everything. And, once I got there, kind of got a grasp of the football schedule. I was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna stick to one sport.
How old were you when you started getting those offers? I saw a report online. It was AI Overview, and they said 8 years old.
Baseball?
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but
you must have been hitting
how early
bombs.
did you start getting offers?
Nah, I don't think I had any official offers when I was 8, but football offers started coming in when I was 14. And then, from those various schools who offered me for football, I'll get in touch with their baseball coaches as well and kind of chop it up. But, at high school and on my travel tournaments and stuff like that, I had MLB scouts in there and stuff there. So it was pretty cool at a young age.
Yeah, we assume it would have worked out if that would have happened. Can I ask you about your junior, senior year being COVID years? Because we talk about your generation. I want to let you know that our show, I'm 38 years old. We got everywhere from 24, 25 to 41 on our show, basically is our range. And we had a vastly different life, obviously, than the group right after us growing up. But your generation, the COVID high school life forming, friendship forming, societal interaction forming years just kind of taken away from you. Like, do you look back on those years? Like, what do you take away from those? Baseball ends up out of your life. I don't know about like homecoming and prom and like all the things that also got taken away. But do you just try not to think about it? Or do you have like, you look back on it and say like, well, it was actually good for me because of this? Like, is that how you try to spin it? How do you kind of view it? Because you're the first person from that generation that I'm getting to ask this question. So know that whatever you say, I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. Okay, no pressure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't speak for everybody. Everyone has their own experience and everything like that. For me, COVID it was strange at first. They were kind of really strict on all the rules and, wear your mask everywhere and you can't travel to other people's houses. So like, I remember I was locked up in the house for a little bit and I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I was just doing school from home and everything like that. But kind of as we got a grasp of what it was and got an understanding of it, for me personally, like my schedule was all the way messed up in COVID. Like I didn't have to sleep, go to sleep early to go to school and everything like that. My schedule, like I still remember it to this day. I would wake up at like 11 or noon, and then I would go to my first workout, which was wide receiver training with my wide receiver coach. Come back, get some lunch, then I go to lift, come back, do my homework, and then like from there on, I was like, on the game, playing Call of Duty with my friends and stuff like that, just staying up like all hours of the night because I didn't have to wake up for school. So like my schedule was definitely a little messed up, but I spent a lot of time like playing football. Like I really did. I spent so much time playing football. Like I didn't have to go to school. I was meeting with my wide receiver coach every day, honing my craft, getting strong in the gym. Like that was the strongest I was during COVID. Like I came in my freshman year and, I was benching, I don't know, I did like 225 for 14, like as a freshman, just coming in, like just knocked them out. And obviously I got stronger throughout my college career, but like I was strong when I came into Ohio State.
You're a professional athlete in the offseason through COVID. Yeah, I'm a game a little bit. Yeah. You guys keep it down, got a big one, like maybe some popcorn as well. And then wake up at 11. All right, let's get the first workout in of the day. Let's go work on some technique. Let's go ahead and get a lift in. Oh, we got to do school, they said. Got an email here. All right, I'll take this test. Let me go through this.
Because like when I went to Ohio State, they didn't require any ACT, any SAT. Like none of that was required to actually get into school. So like, I kind of just
that's interesting.
Had my offer.
Ohio State, huh?
That wasn't Ohio State thing.
Yeah. Okay, now it all makes sense. Yeah, we got professional athletes coming out of COVID, benching 225 14 times. No ACT, no SAT. Come on in here. Yeah, we got all the number ones that we need. Jeez, Ryan Day's doing it right over there. And so are you, man. It's been an honor to watch you, honestly. Learn about your story more and more, and then watch you just kind of dominate the NFL while also doing that in college. I think you have multiple Ohio State records, but you were never the one that was being like heralded. So you literally just had to sit there and watch your best friends get a lot of shine, and just kind of go through it. I'll block downfield. I'll do whatever I got to do. And now you're in the NFL, and you're the superstar, dude. You've earned it. You deserve it, and we're happy for you.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Adidas picked the right one, man, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did. Hey, if you know anybody at Adidas, let them know. We love ball, too. We love ball, too. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah.